If you've been procrastinating on starting your wholesaling business in 2024, make sure you watch this video to the end because I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how you can get started and start generating deals in your business. Hit the like button and let's get into it. Now, the very first thing you need to do is come up with goals in your real estate wholesaling business. If you don't have any goals in your wholesaling business, whenever you start failing in your business, you're going to be more prone to giving up because you don't know where you're planning to go. You're just cranking out calls or cranking out messages trying to land a deal. What I recommend doing is set KPI goals that you would like to hit. In the beginning, you're not going to have any KPI goals, but if you say that, hey, I want to close one deal per month and I don't want to spend no more than $1,200 within a month to close a deal. Those are targets that you're looking to hit. So with KPIs, you can say, all right, to close one deal per month, I'm going to set a goal of 1 in every 30 leads will yield me a deal. And from there, you can also say my cost per lead, I'm shooting for that to be $40 or less. Those are very important because when you have those in place, you can say, all right, if I spend $40 per lead and I generate 30 leads within a month, that's going to cost me $1,200, but that may make me $10,000 at the end of the month. If that $10,000 is your set amount that you want to make when you close that deal. But when you set those type of goals, even if you don't close a deal within that first month, but you realize that you only spent $500 to $600 in your wholesaling business, you probably can say, okay, well, I didn't spend $1,200 and I didn't generate 30 leads. That's why I didn't generate a deal. You're going to be less likely to quit because you know, all right, my goal for next month is making sure that I hit these 30 leads to generate a deal. Now, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please just hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell. That's going to send signals to YouTube and let them know that this video is helpful, and they'll push it out to a larger audience so we can help more people here on the channel. Now, let's get back into the video. Now, once you have your goals in place, the next thing that's very important is choosing the correct market. And one thing I'm going to tell you, whenever you're choosing your market, please don't have any emotional attachment for these markets. Your goal is to go into an area that has cash buyers, have renovations going on, have new builds being built, because that's what the activity is. Now, if you're in an area such as my area, like Charlotte, of course, you should definitely wholesale in that market. Now, you must understand that it's going to be saturated. It's going to be a lot of wholesalers in that area because it's a lot going on. But the person that's following up with these sellers the most in that area is going to generate the deals. How I run my wholesaling business is I wholesale in my backyard. And while I'm wholesaling in my backyard, you better believe I'm looking for rental properties as well too. So when the time is right, I would buy rental properties as well too. Now, I also wholesale virtually. So whenever you're wholesaling virtually, you can pick little pockets around major cities that may have 50,000 in population or 60,000 in population. And I go into those markets where properties may be selling for $40,000, $50,000, and I'm not expecting the spread to be humongous, but if I can make 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, even up to 10,000 in those particular markets, guess what? That's going to keep the wholesaling business going. You're not going to hit 10, 20, 30,000 on every deal, but those little base hit deals are what's going to keep your business going, and it's going to allow you to build up a savings. So when you start buying rental properties, you can have money in reserves, or you can have money to buy the rental properties if you're not using any private money. So definitely keep that in mind. So as you can see, you have your goals set in your local market. You also wholesaling virtually to get these base hit deals to keep your business going. Once you figure out what market you're going to go in, your next step is getting data. Now, I'm going to tell you, data is going to be the fuel to your business. You should be pulling data throughout the year. And what I recommend doing is using PropStream. You got people that tell you, hey, use this data provider or use that data provider. They even tell you go to a data broker, which nothing is wrong with all those, but when you first starting out, just keep it simple. Go to propstream.com. You can use my link below. It's going to give you a 7-day free trial, and during the 7 days you will only get access to, I believe, 50 records. But after the 7 days, if you pay the $99, you get access to 10,000 records, and you get 10,000 records every single month. That's going to allow you to go into your virtual markets. That's going to allow you to go into your local markets. And the good part about it is you get 10,000 new records to pull every single month. Now, I even hear a lot of people say, hey, the data on PropStream are outdated. I wouldn't use those. Go to a broker. Listen, no matter where you go, the data is not going to be 100% updated. Only way it's going to be 100% updated if you're going directly to the courthouse and pulling your data from there, which is going to take a lot of time. And if you're trying to generate deals as quickly as possible, use a data provider. Like I said, PropStream is what I use. I pull 10,000 records per month. Even if I'm not going to skip trace the next month, I still pull 10,000 and I just stash it away. And then I skip trace it the next month after that if I need more data. So use PropStream to pull your data. And like I said, it's going to be some of the cheapest data that you can pull to keep your business going and to keep you generating deals. Now, I know you probably like, well, what would I do next? I have this data, I have 10,000 records. What will be my next step? Your next step is skip tracing that data. Now, this portion of it is very, very important because you want to get as many accurate phone numbers as possible. So what I recommend doing, I use Bat Skip Tracing as my skip tracing provider. And guess what? I used to pay 15 cents per record with Bat Skip Tracing. Now they have skip tracing for 9 cents per record. You can't beat that. When you skip trace your records through Bat Skip Tracing, it's going to come with a phone number. It's going to come with emails. It's going to come with DNC records. And then at that point, it's time to move on to marketing to those sellers. Now, the next thing you got to do is choose your marketing channels. Depending on your budget, you're going to have to go with cheaper forms of marketing or more expensive forms of marketing. Now, what I recommend doing is cold calling and SMS. The software that I use to cold call is CallTools. CallTools is $119 per month. You get up to 10 lines, and it's also something that you can use to scale your business as well. If you have a large enough budget to add a cold caller, you can buy additional seat for another $119. And you can buy as many seats as you would like using this software. Now, what I would do after you have the phone numbers from Skip Tracing using Bat Skip Tracing, I would upload all those records in the CallTools and just start calling. What you're gonna realize, you're gonna get a whole lot of no's, but you're gonna get some people saying yes. And guess what? You remember we set those goals in the beginning of 1 in every 30 leads? Every lead that you generate, it's gonna get you closer to the 30 leads that's going to get you to your first deal or your next deal. Then you can also send SMS using the software such as REI Reply. Now, I'm going to tell you this with REI Reply. It has really slowed down for me a lot using REI Reply. I still use it. You just have to make your adjustments. But what I'm noticing with using REI Reply, if you get to the point where you're sending about 200 to 300 text messages, if you're using a sub account within REI Reply, most of the time you're going to start getting the error codes that will cause REI Reply to stop sending messages from your account for the rest of the day. Now, like I said, I'm still making adjustments. I'm trying to figure this thing out to get back to what text messaging was. But guess what? In the business, things are always going to change. You're always going to have to make adjustments. So knowing that cold calling is still working for me, I'm still able to generate leads using REI Reply. It's also good to add other marketing channels just in case one marketing channel fizzles out. You have other marketing channels in place so your business just won't completely stop. But feel free to check out REI Reply. It was $49 per month. They did increase it to $99. You can check CallTools or REI Reply out below, and you can just use those two marketing channels to start out if you have a small marketing budget. And as you generate deals and leads in your business, then you can start going into more expensive forms such as PPC or Facebook ads or direct mail. But in the beginning, just using those two marketing channels to keep your cost per lead super low will be a great idea. Now, once you have your cold calling and your SMS marketing channel set up and you import your leads in the REI Reply or CallTools, you're going to start getting responses from sellers. They're going to start saying, hey, I want to sell. No, I don't want to sell. So basically, I'm not interested. I already sold the property. I don't want to sell right now, but I may want to sell in about 3-4 months. It's listed with a realtor. And those are mainly the main responses that you're going to get from sellers. Now, each one of those type of sellers, you need to put them in different buckets, and you need to know how to deal with them later on down the line. Now, the sellers that say, yes, I want to sell, of course, you're going to get on the phone, you're going to gather all the information on the property, you want to know their exact timeline they want to sell, you need to know any hiccups that may come about while getting the deal closed, such as they may have liens, they may have taxes owed on the property, or it may be a squatter in the property. You need to get those issues that they have going on with the property out of the seller so you can know how to deal with it. Now, once you gather all that information from the seller, that's going to help you come up with an educated offer, because what you'll be doing while you collecting that information from the seller, you'll be running comps, seeing what the property is worth. You're going to be picturing everything that they're telling you, such as, hey, the HVAC is out, the house needs a lot of work on the inside, needs new flooring, needs new tiles, it needs a new roof. Then you know that house is going to be in a certain category whenever you're looking in PropStream running comps to see what comparable properties will look like. And while you gathering that information, you'll see I need to be within this price range in order to get this deal sold. So if you see property selling for 50, 60,000 and it's in similar condition to what the seller is telling you, you know if you want to make 5,000 or 10,000 on the deal, you need to be 5 to 10,000 less than what the property actually sold for. And if you want to see a video on how I comp properties, feel free to check this video out here, because it's going to help you when you on the phone doing that process of gathering information. It will definitely help make sure that you are getting the property under contract at the right price. So let's say you and the seller, after gathering all the information, you agree to a price. Once you agree to that price, you're going to have to get an A-B contract in place. The A in the contract is the seller, the B in the contract is you. If you agree to 50,000 and you know you can sell the property for 60,000, you're not going to put the 60,000 number on the contract. You're going to put the 50,000 number on the contract, get the seller to sign, you're going to sign it as well, and you're going to send it off to the title company or attorney office that you're using to start the escrow process. They're going to make sure that everything that the seller is saying is true. They're going to make sure there's no taxes, liens, or mortgages against the property. Once they determine that the property is clear, then you know you're good to go to get a cash buyer in to buy the property. Now, the whole process of getting a cash buyer in is you can go on PropStream. That's why I say PropStream is so powerful. You can go on PropStream, pull a buyer's list within that radius of the property, and market to the buyers that are LLCs or just non-owner occupants that own properties in that area, and you can sell a property to them. Or you can actually hold an open house for those buyers that you have, and they can come in and bid on the property, and whoever bid the most, that's who get the property. So you may have a price set at 60, but the property may bid up to 70, 75,000. That's how you know what the value of the property really is. And once you get a buyer that would be interested, next thing you do, you get a BC contract. You are the B, the buyer is C. You're not going to put 50,000 on the BC contract. You're going to put 60,000 because that's what the property can sell for. And then as you can see, you got 60,000 on the BC contract and you got 50,000 on the AB contract. In between is $10,000. Guess what? That money goes to you. So congratulations, you actually closed your first deal. Now, I know we also talked about the other responses that you can actually get. If you get any sellers that's saying, hey, I don't want to sell right now, but I may want to sell later on in the future, those sellers, you need to follow up with them. And how I recommend following up with them, especially on a budget, is using a free Podio setup. You can set your Podio up to where you can put each seller that you spoke with, you can put them in Podio and say, hey, I'm going to follow up with that seller in half the time of what they actually say they want to sell, just to make sure that I'm staying in front of them so I can have the best chances of actually getting the property whenever they are ready to sell. And that's how you fill up your pipeline. You constantly follow up with those sellers. You fill your Podio up with motivated sellers over time. And then, you know, as months go on, you will see that, hey, I'm generating 2 deals this month now. I have 2 deals on the contract now. I have 3 deals on the contract this month. Like, that's how you get the pipeline filled and generate deals month by month. Now, I don't want to make this process seem like it's easy, because it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work for you just to generate leads every single day. You're going to have to spend money. You're going to have to be very consistent. If you're not doing those things, it's going to be hard for you to generate deals in your business. So as long as you're doing that, you're being consistent, you constantly buying new data, you're going to be able to close deals eventually on a consistent level. Now, if you want to see a video on how I closed my first deal, feel free to check this video out here, and I'll see you next time.